Welcome to another one of our videos from the Tech Data Cyber Range. Today we'll be going over one of our training partners' platforms. This is Rangeforce. Rangeforce was founded by three entrepreneurs who, as contractors, worked to help create the NATO Cooperative Cyber Defense Center of Excellence, also known as CCDCOE. They've now developed a platform where people can gain skills training. They've been in the industry for 5 years. They've grown to over 50 people, have 100 customers, and hundreds of training modules and 20 cyber exercises. All of this is created based upon the founding principles they learned while working with NATO. So today, I don't think I'm the only one here. John, are you out there?
Hello.
So, John, I think today maybe, I'm offensive security and you're defensive security in the cyber range, but I think maybe today I want to try my chops at some defensive stuff. So, what do you think about us working together on one of these SOC modules?
Let's do it. That's actually something I was excited to see with range forces. There's so many training platforms out there that'll teach you how to hack and red team skills, but the fact that they're spending so much time teaching people tools and methodologies that people are using in SOCs is amazing.
So it looks here, just scrolling through, I kind of, before we started the video, I did scroll through these already. But I think I want to start with some of the reverse engineering stuff. I know that there are 3 different ones: level 1, level 2, level 3. I've done a bit of reverse engineering on the side, nothing too grandiose, but maybe we start with level 1. Okay, it looks like we're going to recover a password from a program with using Ghidra. That's cool.
Yeah, Ghidra is exciting. I know that's the reverse engineering tool. Yeah, there you go, created by the NSA. From everything I've read, it's arguably as good or better than IDA Pro. And it's free.
Yeah, and I know the community is working on it. So you have a lot of people. I've seen a lot of different talks of people who have used IDA in the past that are actually starting to pivot towards using Ghidra and actually writing different plugins for it. So I know the community is definitely engaged and around this open source tool.
I'm
went
excited
ahead here.
to.
No, sorry. I was just going to say I went ahead and launched the module, so we're just going to wait for it to load. But go on.
I was going to say I'm excited to see what this training module has in store, because as exciting as Ghidra is, being free and basically open source, I've yet to really see much in the way of training on it.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen people write several blog articles, but no one actually walks you through the steps of using the tool, right? Mostly it's just write-ups of, hey, I did this, crack me or something, and here's how I solved the crack me. And obviously you could walk backwards and figure out what they did, but step by step from beginning to end, there are very few people who have actually begun to focus on Ghidra itself. I think that's it's a bit of an advantage Rangeforce has.
Absolutely.
So let's see here. Typically, if you've seen us do, we did an introductory one of these videos. If you've watched it already, we went ahead and talked through the virtual teaching assistant. I'm going to go ahead and wait here a moment to see if the virtual teaching assistant launches. If it doesn't, I'll just go ahead and launch it myself. Virtual teaching assistant, in case you haven't seen those videos, is the program that is really the bread and butter of Rangeforce, right? It's where everything and all that is done in regards to the module happens. It's where you get your check marks. It's where you see your instructions. If you need hints, that's where you can get your hints. But it really helps you go through the module without really holding your hand, but kind of giving you a pathway to walk. You still kind of got to know how to walk, right?
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. It guides you down the path, but it's the perfect blend of guidance, but also with enough where you have to think for yourself and perhaps, you know, read the material page to figure out what it is that you need to do. So I think so much of the existing training that's out there is too handholdy, is too formulaic. And with this, like you said, it allows you to do things instead of just click buttons. You know?
Yeah, it really allows for you, if you've come from a security background, kind of use some of what you've learned already to continue to develop and compound your skill set. And it holds your hands in the right way. So if you get stuck, you can get help, but it allows for you to do your own discovery, and it really challenges your ability to think critically. Which is really good. So let me go ahead and read the instructions here just so we are all aware of what we're doing. A friend of ours named Ethan is a C developer and wants to make a program that requires offline authentication. He wanted to make sure only users who know the password can use the program, so he made a challenge for us using his authentication system. Can you help Ethan and try and crack the authentication system? So
I would say before we even dive into the get started, we should maybe load up the binary and just see how it behaves.
yeah, so I think based on the keyword here that it's a challenge, I'm going to assume that binary on the desktop is that. And we know from other lessons that we've done in the past or other modules with Rangeforce that usually the resources you need are located right there on your desktop for you. So let's go ahead and change our working directory to the desktop. So then let's go ahead and launch challenge. Got to enter a password. Let's try something simple, right? One of the default passwords used on many different types of systems. Oh, that's the wrong password. Maybe it's something a little more crafty. No, it's not crafty at all. I'll try one last one. No, so obviously we're going to probably have to reverse engineer, given the given the fact that that's what this module is for, to
Sounds
figure
about
out
right.
what the credential is. So I think our first step, if we go ahead and look at our objective, our first objective, import the program into Ghidra. To find the password for the program, can analyze it with Ghidra. And the binary you have to reverse is located on your desktop. Awesome, great, we know that. And then start off by importing. So open Ghidra, create a new project, import the challenge binary. So I'm going to go ahead and launch Ghidra here through the desktop instance we have. There's no active project, so let me go ahead and do File, New Project. Let's not make it shared. I'm not collaborating with anyone on this. Just call it Challenge, I guess. So I have my challenge, and that's where I'm currently located. And then let's see about importing a file. Let's go back to the desktop. Import the challenge binary. Awesome. So we know it's an executable and link in the executable and linking format. We can see that GCC was used here for compiling it. It's in the x86-64 architecture. And then it just tells us where the destination is and the name of the program. I don't think I'm going to need to change anything from an options perspective, so I'm just going to go ahead and click OK. Awesome.
Beautiful.
So let's see what our results summary has. Last modified. So we know when the binary was created. Looks like it was on the 31st.
Actually, yeah, that looks like it was just about when we started.
Yeah, that's true. It does. I'm not real familiar with the UTC offset, so we'd have to calculate it. But it does look like it was just generated when we began. That was interesting. I have heard that from one of the sales engineers over at Rangeforce, when you launch these modules, there is some dynamic magic that happens on the back end that creates a uniqueness behind each challenge binary. So maybe after we complete this, we could launch it again and redo it to see if our result is different.
Yeah,
Um,
then I guess it goes without saying the incredible advantage to that is, if you have say you have range force training licenses for your entire SOC to get all your analysts trained up, they then can't share the answers. You
right.
are basically forcing them all to go through the steps to figure out the answer.
It really eliminates the note sharing that many different types of platforms and security managers have to take into consideration. So
Mm-hmm.
that's cool. I mean, obviously, you have the fact that if someone teaches them the steps to get there, you have that. But I would say having someone work in collaboration with each other, like you and me going through this together, we by us working together, we're both learning something. So even if I had done it before, you had done it before, there is a process that we could either instruct or teach each other along the way, but with a different result. So I think the last couple of things maybe we want to note about this is the information regarding the
File
hashes.
hashes. Yeah.
Yeah, the MD5 and SHA-256, that could come in useful. Like, say, if this was a malicious binary, could use those details to create an IOC or something like that. But
Mm-hmm.
in the event we wanted to write a Yara rule, let's say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm just going to say, okay, that's cool. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
And then I believe you just double click to launch, right? Yeah.
Yep. That looks right. And I think right before that launch, we may have got a green checkbox
Yeah,
in
let's check
our.
our virtual teaching assistant. And let's see here. So yeah, I went ahead and completed the importing of the program, the challenge program into Ghidra. Can go ahead and select my next objective. So opening the program, that's what we've done. Begin to analyze the binary, open the main function and look for the validation function. Okay, what is the name of the function? So let's go ahead and just minimize that. Let me change how I did that. There we go. Challenge has not
Yep.
been analyzed. Would you like to analyze it? Sure, why not? Let's go
Absolutely.
ahead and
I think leave
analyze it.
leave all those on default.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure I won't have to change anything about it. So, okay, cool. So as we can see down here in the bottom, it's analyzing and it's done. So
Mm-hmm.
I would say let's
So
start with
per
symbol tree, right?
Yeah, I was gonna
We
say
have our
per
functions
the
right there.
documentation that they provided. Yeah, the symbol tree allows you to find the functions that are in the program, and there you go. You found main, and the great thing
Yeah,
about it is when you click on the function in the center panel, it shows you the assembly language of it, but then on the right hand side, it actually does a disassembly of what it thinks the original C code was.
yeah, so
Uh,
this is the code decompiled that you're referring
mm,
to right now. Sorry, I realized I had the virtual teaching assistant up as an overlay,
oh yeah.
so they probably didn't see your explanation. But I wanted to show them where you're finding that
Mm-hmm.
information, and that
Absolutely.
is right here in the material, right next to the original instructions. So even if you hadn't used Ghidra before, you can use this documentation to walk you through the process. So finding a
Mm-hmm.
function talks about a symbol tree. You can do filters and find main. But
Yeah.
so yeah, we were in the symbol tree. We found main. John was just talking about the assembly code and then the decompiled to C code, which Ghidra thinks it is. So
Uh-huh.
as we walk through this, I'm gonna say what was our
Yeah.
objective here?
So yeah.
What is the
Look.
name of the function for validation?
So yeah.
The only thing that
Check.
looks like it's validating to me is this check password. How about you?
Yeah. As I say, it basically looks like the variable one is being assigned a value of when it runs the check password function, passing that local 58 variable.
Yeah.
So yeah, my guess would be check password is the answer we need.
So let's go ahead and make sure we type it out right.
Oh
And boom,
yeah.
got our next objective completed. So we'll move on. And let's see, figure out the correct password, test the password on the program. What is the correct password for the program? Now that you know the function validates the password, try to understand how it works. So I'm going to assume that because even though it's the decompiled code is saying ivar1 equals check password, this isn't the variable. This is a function.
Mm-hmm.
So I would go out on a limb and say, yep, there right here. We have a undefined function of check password.
Yeah.
And
So
then it's doing a compare,
accepting,
right?
yeah, it's accepting a what's effectively a string,
Mm-hmm.
and it's basically looks like these if statements are iterating each character byte in that string array and doing individual character comparisons. So I would assume if we take those comparisons in order, that is likely going to be our password.
So let's try that. Let me go ahead, and it looks like we have a Kali Linux desktop here, which is good. I don't really recall where
I
Kali
got
keeps the
usual,
mouse.
go to usual applications
Usual
and then
apps,
accessories.
accessories.
And then, yeah, there it
There
is.
we go, mouse pad. Look at you. You know where everything is. So we got A as in alpha, E as in echo, 2, E as in echo, 7, B as in bravo, 4, 9.
Yep.
Yeah, that look right to you?
That looks good.
Looks right to me. And something we could do to test this, right, is launch our challenge again and just type it out. EA. Oh, looks
Yeah.
like it is the correct password. So let me go ahead, select Cappy. And let's throw that in here. And boom.
Awesome.
It looks like we've completed the first, or not the first, but the second reverse engineering module
So,
for
so I would
Rangeforce.
say is as straightforward as that was, let's kind of reflect on, even though we cranked through that, there was still a lot of cool stuff we learned. We learned how to create a project in Ghidra, learned how to import our binary. We learned about the symbol tree and where to find the functions that it sees. We learned where to view the disassembled code. I would say it definitely helps if you have a basic understanding of C specifically, or just programming in general will definitely help you with this. But yeah, I mean, even though this is straightforward, learned a lot about the functionality, and I had fun doing it.
I had fun as well. So cool.
Do we want to give it a second go around just to see if the password is randomly generated?
Yeah, that's fine with me. Give me a minute here. Sorry, I'm in a different window, just taking my side notes. So I'll just go ahead and save my feedback here for them, and then we can add some more later. So let's go ahead and end the module. End the module and close all your machines. Yep, that's good. So we see here that that's going through that process.
Very cool.
And let's do it again. So even though I've got the green check mark, I can still launch it if I wanted to refresh the skills that I've learned and what I went through to reinforce the typing, the knowing, the thing of the exercise or the module. So let's wait for that desktop to be configured for us. I noticed, and it's changed, but maybe we come back to it. Down at the bottom, they're starting to map the different modules to to nice.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
that's very cool. And I do love the fact, like I know we hit on the fact that the like in this instance, the binary is randomly generated, but in addition to that, you know, something that may be obvious, but it's worth pointing out again, is that when you launch these modules, you are in your own personalized container that is literally spun up, basically almost made to order as
Yep.
you begin the module. So you're not going to get other users interfering with your work. Like, this is your instance to basically play around in.
So I should have noted, I should have put in my notes the password we got on the other exercise. So when I go into desktop here, I could have just typed it in, but it totally skipped my mind to do that. Did you by chance do it?
I didn't.
No, that's okay. But
I
we
do
know
know.
password is not it.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and just go through the process again, right? Open up Ghidra. We're gonna kind of streamline through this, since we know we're looking for the check password function. I'm just gonna go there right away. We'll go ahead and create a new project, non-shared. Go ahead and import our file from the desktop, or our binary. It's done a import summary for us.
The hash looked different. So that's interesting.
Let's go ahead and analyze. That way we get some stuff in our function tree. Go ahead and expand our function tree up. There's check password. And look at that. Yeah, it is different. So if we, I'm not going to open the notepad this time around, but let's go ahead and just do this. 785 D as in Delta, 084 C as in Charlie. How about that? So that is the right password, and it did change. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Definitely useful for when you're training a large team of people and you're setting goals for that team, and you want to make sure that everyone is, if they're collaborating in the right way. They're not just sharing notes, but they're mutually benefiting each other and walking each other through a process or a way of thinking through the exercise, and not just giving an answer. I really like that. So I think that's going to be all for this. Definitely fun. Yes. I'll end the module. And I want to go and just dig real briefly into the nice mappings they did and see. I believe they're mapping them either to skill sets that people are going to need for positions that they're applying for, or something like that. It caught my eye briefly. So let's just look. So we have nice SP dev, or nice this one. Let's see. Let's just, okay. Sorry, I'm highlighting all of them. Let me just search Google for this. Okay, we see National Institute of Cybersecurity Careers, Exploitation Analysis. So yeah, it looks like they're directly mapping the modules to not only positions, but to the skill sets you need to have to do those. So that's good for anyone who might be looking to change careers, or anyone that's looking to develop out their skill set further. I like that.
Yeah. So it's a great feature.
Well, I think that's all for this one. We'll probably come back with another module another time. Hopefully you enjoyed this as much as we did. But yeah, have a good one.
Bye-bye.